France's foreign minister has held talks in Iraq over foreign ISIS fighters currently imprisoned in the region. Jean-Yves Le Drian has been spearheading talks on behalf of Europe to try and convince Iraqi authorities to prosecute the fighters locally in the region rather than having them return to their home countries. Well, for more, we're joined by Euronews' international correspondent Annelise Borges, who's in Paris for us. Annelise, morning to you. This is clearly a very diplomatic balancing act for the French foreign minister.
Good morning, Rosie. A balancing act indeed, and one that didn't quite pan out the way authorities were expecting. France's Foreign Affairs Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian traveled to Baghdad, planned this last-minute trip in order to lead a European initiative, one that concerns countries such as Belgium, Britain, Denmark, Sweden, the Netherlands, all countries that should be concerned about what's happening in northeastern Syria. They all have nationals there with suspected affiliation to ISIS who are stuck in prisons. And Le Drian's message to Baghdad was very clear. Listen, we have a problem here. All these nationals, all these men and their families cannot regain their freedom. That represents a security threat to the region in your doorstep. So let's work together and try and avoid them, try to prevent them from escaping. Well, Baghdad's response wasn't exactly what Le Drian was expecting. The country's president and the country's foreign affairs minister both said that they could not allow Iraq to become a, quote, dumping ground for jihadists. And they said they would be okay, they would work towards repatriating Iraqis that are in northeastern Syria, but that foreign countries should take care of their own nationals.
Will the overnight news of the Turkish ceasefire now for the next 5 days take some of the pressure off, because there's been that risk and concern about people escaping detention?
Absolutely, Rosie. It definitely will take the pressure off, but it will not solve the problem altogether. The issue will remain the fact that there are thousands of men in makeshift prisons around a volatile area. There are reportedly 7 makeshift facilities all over the Rojava that hold some 10,000 men. 2,000 of them are foreigners, 60 or 70 are believed to be French, and they will continue there. That is nothing new. That is something France and the rest of Europe have known for quite some time now, at least since March, since the fall of Baghdad, which was the last stronghold that ISIS had in Syria. Now, the question is, how long can this be sustained? Of course, up until now, the Kurds did a decent job in securing these facilities and even trying some of the Syrian suspects in the so-called Rojava, the semi-autonomous region. But of course, since the military incursion by Turkey in the region, everything changed. Several of these Kurdish forces had to be withdrawn from prisons and camps, and of course, relocated in order to push back this Turkish offensive. So this ceasefire will help, will take the pressure off, but only momentarily and only if it holds.
Annelise Borges, our correspondent.